Here with me, Jen the Taxidermy Witch, and we are talking about yams and sweet potatoes and witchcraft, okay? Now, when I went to the shop and I decided to get yams and sweet potatoes, I knew I had seen both in Scott Cunningham's book here. So I got both kinds. Well, I'm kind of sad because I looked in the index, it says nothing under sweet potatoes. It only says yams, page 98. So I go to page 98, and he goes on to say that most Americans call what are really yams sweet, or what are really, at Thanksgiving when we have the sweet potatoes on the table, those are actually yams. They're the darker ones. So this is an actual sweet potato. It's lighter on the outside as well as on the inside, and this is a yam. Okay, this is a garnet yam, which is like what's on the table at Thanksgiving, but we call them sweet potatoes. When people make sweet potato pie, as far as I understand, in the American South, they're also using yams. Now, the reason I bring this up is because I got a little offended for the first time by Scott Cunningham today, and that's never ever happened. I'm not upset about it, but it does make me sad, and I think that you'll figure out why. So it says page 98 yams. There's nothing there under yams. Now it says sweet potatoes. But when you look in the index, it didn't say sweet potato. Okay. Sweet potato. Ipomea batatas. Planet Venus. Element water. Energies love and sex. Well, see, this is the yam, okay? The other one's a sweet potato. Lore, an English cookbook of 1596 includes the preparation of a sweet potato tart intended to excite sexual desires. Those sweetened orange tubers, often served at Thanksgiving, are actually sweet potatoes, not yams. But that doesn't make sense to me because the yams are the darker ones, the sweet potatoes are the lighter ones. I'm just ultimately confused by this whole chapter and this whole section here. So I'm going to go on to read. Yams certainly do exist and are eaten in large quantities in Africa, Central and South America, and the West Indies, but not in the U.S. True yams are massive tubers growing as long as 7 feet and tipping the scales at more than 100 pounds. In the International Grocery Store, we saw yams that were literally this big, and I told Alex, I don't want to eat those. I should have gotten it for this video because, anyway, they had giant yams at the International Grocery, and I thought, the smaller the better of taste usually. Why would you want a giant yam? But apparently that was a real yam. They certainly do exist and are eaten in large quantities in Africa, Central and South America, and the West Indies, but not in the U.S. True yams are massive tubers growing as large as 7 feet and tipping the scales at more than 100 pounds. Compare these to our yams of November and you'll probably readily see the difference. Magical uses. Cook and eat sweet potatoes to expand your ability to receive as well as to give love. Flavor of cinnamon, ginger, and a dash of honey or sugar to further empower them with love energies. All those things there are love energies. Or prepare them with visualization and share with a mate for enhanced sexuality. Inform your partner of the food's power. So you need to tell them at that point, we're eating this food so that we can enhance our lust and our sexuality this evening. Whatever. However you want to say it. So there's that. I'm confused. So if anybody can enlighten me with their input on it, please do. You can plant these and get them to sprout pretty easily just from what they are. If you leave them on your counter for like 3 months, they'll just sprout on their own. So I'm going to break these apart so I can show you what I mean by the inside, the difference between a yam and a sweet potato. Here is the garnet yam. Here's the sweet potato. It is white. On the outside, you can just tell this is a little bit more brown and this is a little bit more red. But on the inside, look at that difference, So in cooking, in American cooking, that's what they tell us, that this is a yam and this is a sweet potato. We have the orange ones at Thanksgiving. We're really eating yams, but everybody calls them sweet potatoes. As far as magic goes, I'm completely confused. However, I assume you could use either for love energy, since Scott Cunningham is telling us that this is the same thing. Is if it's not, you know, humongous and pounds, like, you know, 20, 30, 40, or 100 pounds, that's not a yam. I don't know. So yeah, come back with me, Jen the Taxidermy Witch. This is the first time I've ever been, like, blundered by Scotty, so don't think that I disrespect him in any way. I'm just confused. So, alright, thanks, Jen the Taxidermy Witch. Ooh, up next, it might not be the next video, but I do have this leftover taro root I didn't cut into, and guess what we're gonna do? Yep, we're gonna put his nuts in a jar, okay? We're gonna do a spell to keep your man at home, a spell to not let him wander off. He won't want anyone but you when you put his nuts in a jar. So we'll look forward to that, yeah? Come back with me, Jen the Taxidermy Witch. Bye-bye.